so my vocals can sit more in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's little things that we can do, and it's like people will be like, "Why would you do that?" Because I can. So the thing that made it easier for me and made things click was, why am I not recording like the artists record in the studios? If I'm an engineer, why aren't I tracking artists the way that I would track in the studio with the gear? All right, there's a lot of people that record dry. That's your preference. Do your thing. I'm not one of those people. I want to record, recreate the feeling, not necessarily have the same exact thing, because we know the analog is going to sound different from the digital. That's just that, right? But when we look at the vocal chain, right, like right here on my print track, right, that would be me recreating the studio workflow, because what I'm recording through this SSL, I am emulating recording through the analog gear. But this video is not about printing. This is literally about how to build your chain. So if you're someone that struggles with stacking a bunch of plugins trying to figure it out, one smart way to go about it is using channel strips. Record through channel strips. They're going to have everything that you need. For this one, you're going to have like mic pre's, you're going to have a dynamic section, you're going to have EQs. So it's pretty much an all-in-one, so you can do light compression, light EQ moves, right? Push the pre as hard as you want to push the pre to get the sound, the color that you're looking for, right? The SSL is very, very clean, right? And I tend to use the SSL when I use my Latin Audio Eden. That's the most expensive microphone that I have. I don't really use it with the Atlantis. The Atlantis is the one that I use with the Neve, the Tube Tech, or the Neve, and the other ones, right? I'm gonna show you, right? So first thing that we want to do when we're building on our chain is like understand like what sound are we going for. I'm gonna use the Neve, so you can use any version of the Neve 1073 as you choose, right? So this is just one of the chains. So you see around 35, you hear how my volume is coming through, and if I click 40, right, you hear a little bit more sizzle to it. So we're getting some of the saturation, we're getting some of the noise that people use with the Neve. So if I don't want to push it that hard, I want to kind of like a cleaner sound, like a cleaner color to the preamp in this case, I'll just keep it at 35 or go to 30. You can also adjust these things. So it's like, if your vocals, if you kind of understand like what you want, right, you can boost this up, right? But you got to turn the EQ on, right? So this goes with anything for the channel strip or any plugin that you're putting on your record track, right? So you kind of understand like what you want. That's why it's easier to build it out this way, because if we can recreate the studio recording flow, process, system, whatever you want to call it, it gets easier. So when you go to a studio, you already understand what's going on, because this is what your favorite artists are doing. That's why they go to these $1 million studios. That's why they have the gear. It's for recording. Most of their mixing engineers, they're mixing in the box because they recorded good, clean, quality, pro sounding vocals from the jump. And you can recreate it yourself, because the Neve and the Tube Tech go hand in hand. But since a lot of people can't get the Tube Tech, I'm going to just go and use like the 1176, right? You can use whatever version that you want. Me personally, I always go UAD. That's just me. That's just, you know what I'm saying? I just go UAD, right? That's just how I'm rocking it, right? And the thing with this, I'll just find like a little preset in there that's cool, that's not really overpowering my vocals. And then for this one, we'll go the CLA, we'll go to like the 2A, right? You hear how that just brought the life back into the vocal. So when we're doing that, it's literally like, hey, let's just set it to where it's getting the levels that we want without over compressing the vocal, right? Because you hear that's bad. You know what I'm saying? That's not good. I wouldn't recommend that for anybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you sit here and you try to figure out like what you want to do as far as like your gain reduction and everything like that, you kind of want to find the numbers that you're comfortable with and the things that sound good, because it's like blindly copying settings is not going to work for you, okay? So like for this, I might have to turn my input down, right? Because it's just too loud. So I can go back to the Neve, right? And then I can turn this down just a little bit on the fader because I don't know how loud I'm gonna be, right? So this all goes into building your vocal chain. Do you want to track with reverb? If you want reverb, you can put reverb on a send. Me personally, I have 2 reverbs. So one I have that's like really, really big, right? And then the next reverb that you see right here is like wider, like it's a smaller room, but it adds something different to the vocal. You know what I'm saying? So like if I bring that down and bring it back in, like you see that, like it just adds something different to it. You don't have to do that, but this goes into my thought process. It's like, okay, how do the pros record? What's some of their systems? Most of the professional template sessions that I've went through, reviewed on the channel, they have 2 reverbs. All right, they have one big reverb and then they have a small room reverb, and they are both on the vocal, right? And you can kind of find a good balance. But it's like, it's the thought process. What do you need? You might be wondering like why I don't have auto tune on here. I have an auto tune pedal right here. You know what I'm saying? So I have a pedal. So this is auto tune. So auto tune, the microphone is running in here. Then this is running into my interface going into Pro Tools. So auto tune is technically first because I'm using it as analog gear. So it's going auto tune into the Neve, into the 1176, into the 2A. So I'm understanding the signal flow of things, because a lot of artists get messed up with the signal flow, right? If you have a vocal chain and you don't like what it sounds like, mute plugins, solo plugins, figure out what's going on within the session. You don't have to be like, oh man, this preset sounds crazy, I just need a new preset. It's like, nah, go through the preset, go through the chain and figure out what you don't like about it, right? Because me personally, when I'm tracking, I don't like a lot of compression. I like hearing the effects. So I build out my chains the way that's comfortable to me. It's like I'm not really chasing something else that somebody has, because there's people that use the Neve 1073 and they'll put it on 20. That's their preference. That's what they like. And you can do that because you have the option, you have the ability to do it, right? It's like there's not one correct way to do this, right? Like I have the EQ on off. If I want to roll off 160, 300, I could do that, but that would be like for telephone. But it's like I don't want to alter the effect too much, right? I don't want it to sound unnatural before I even get a chance to mix. That's why I tend to leave this on off, because the Apollo Twin already has the low cut. So that's like the process. So so now it's just figuring out what we want. Do you want to track with a de-esser? Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. It depends. So it's like this chain, I'm cool with it for the most part, just recording. So it's like I can turn this on, this on, this on, and this on. Okay, so this is too much. This is not good. So what do? We just turn this down, right? Turn this down, right? Turn the delay down, right? The deep voice, turn it down, or we can turn it off. It really don't matter in this instance, right? Because we're keeping it cool. Then when we look at it, where all of my punches, like when I'm punching in or anything, everything is going to a Vox bus. And what I have on the Vox bus is the mix wave, is the VLC, right? So this just gives me a start for like what I think what it could sound like, right? So what I do, I'll just start from any preset within here, right? I just click and then I'll start building out my vocal bus accordingly, because what if I want it to be more aggressive, more in your face? So I have to use a compressor, like a distressor, that's gonna put the vocal more in your face, make it more aggressive. Now, when really checking your vocal chain is playing the beat. Like play the beat and make adjustments while the beat is playing. You could do top line in this moment. You can just try different combinations, because you might hear something you like, you know? So watch this. So I play the beat. When you wanna go right up, baby girl, you bad. What you know right up? When you wanna go right up, go right up? Baby, you bad. Where you wanna go right up? Where you wanna go right up? Where you wanna go right now? Baby, you bad. But you know right up. So look, this is pushing the reverb wider, pushing it out, so my vocals can sit more in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's little things that we can do, and it's like people will be like, "Why would you do that?" Because I can. Baby girl, you bad. Where you wanna go? What you know? And then bring it down right. Baby girl, you bad. What you know? Where you wanna go? Baby girl, you bad. Baby, you bad. You know it. I got no racks for you. Baby girl, you bad. Let's go out. Where you wanna go out? Go out, baby girl, you bad. Where you wanna go out? We can go out. We can go out. I got no racks for you. Them racks, baby. I got no racks for you. Yeah, them racks, baby. And then it's like, so what if the Neve hitting too hard? Turn it down, right? What if the compressor not compressing enough, right? So now we kind of like have a take. So like if we need to do a 4-to-1, do a 4-to-1. If we need to turn the output down, we need to turn the attack this way. We need to make the release a little bit faster. Cool, we could do all that. If we need to drive the input in a little bit more, we could do that, right? There's so many different things. It's like just adjusting what we want, right? Let's say we want this two-way to really, really just crush the vocal. We could do that, right? Or we want it to barely move the needle. We could do that. So I just like to approach it like just differently. So like, watch this right now. Yeah. Yeah. Baby girl, you bad. Baby, you bad. Let's go out. Let's go. Where you wanna go out? Go out, baby girl, you bad. Where you wanna go out? We can go out. We can go out. I got them racks for you. Them racks, baby. I got them racks for you. Yeah, them racks, baby. I got them racks for you. You know them racks, baby. I got them racks for you. You know it. I got them racks for you. And then it's like, okay, we can build a chain out. It's not like we're married to it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people like to overlook what this engineering thing is all about. Even if you're recording yourself, you're an artist that records yourself, and you think of yourself as an engineer, engineers just don't start and stop with the preset that they recorded with, right? You want to give yourself enough flexibility to like shape the vocal, shape the sound into wherever you want, right? That's why I like to record through the light compression, nothing too crazy. I'll track with the reverb, with the delays, with the crazy effects that I kind of hear within the song. But it's like the change is so small, but a lot of people don't want to make it because it like they don't want to believe that you can do it with like the plugins. You know what I'm saying? It's like your favorite artists go to studios. You can see them in the studio. Look at the gear that's in the studio. The gear, they have plugin versions of that. I'm not saying this to sell you plugins, push certain presets, push certain agendas, but I'm just saying, bruh, you can record yourself better. You can make it easier for yourself because if you record better, mixing gets easier because now you don't have that many problems to fix. If you can fix everything like during the recording process, mixing, you don't have to worry about fixing so much. You know what I'm saying? There's so much that you could do when you're setting up these vocal chains. It's like we can sit here and come up with 100 different presets just out of these 3 plugins because there's so many different ways we can set the Neve, set the 76, the 2A. We can add a de-esser. We can add a EQ. We can do a lot of different things within that plugin. We can put some saturation in there, right? There's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like we could cut the low end off with the Neve. There's a lot of different combinations we could do, but it's like one thing, just one thing, one simple thing, just change your mindset.